CBS News political correspondent Ed O'Keefe is here with each party's priorities if they win control of the Congress. Ed, good morning.
Good morning. Are we ready?
Yeah, we are ready.
If sleep this weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to take a nap tomorrow for the first time. If the polls are to be believed, if they are to be believed this time, looks like the Democrats will get it with the hair on their chinny chin chin.
Right.
So what are their priorities?
If Democrats retake control of the House,
yes,
they have said they want to focus on things like finding a way to get an agreement with the president on infrastructure spending. Can we repave the roads, rebuild the airports, maybe get that tunnel built here in New York that everyone's been asking for? They want to focus on things like protecting dreamers and figuring out if there is a compromise, again, with Republicans on immigration reform. That's been a big priority for them. You may see them push for things like reauthorizing the Voting Rights Act, or even codifying transgender rights. These are issues that have come up over the course of their campaign that are important to their base. One thing we also will see them do, there's been a lot of talk about it, investigate the administration in ways that Congress is supposed to oversee the executive branch. But they're going to have a conflict among themselves about how far you go with that and whether it leads ultimately to the I word, impeachment.
Impeachment, the I word. And if Republicans keep the Senate, that's it.
If Republicans keep the Senate as expected, I mean, they're going to keep doing what Mitch McConnell calls the personnel business. They're going to keep confirming Republican or conservative-leaning justices to federal courts, and they're probably going to have to confirm as many as maybe 6 or 7 new cabinet secretaries and top ambassadors. There's been talk about change at the Justice Department, the Interior Department, and other places. They're going to need a UN ambassador. That can take several weeks of the Senate's time just there. That could take them all the way to Easter.
Can you go back to the I word for a second, Ed? Do you think that kind of talk gets you anywhere?
It doesn't get me anywhere. It might get some Democrats.
I'm talking about the generic you.
Well, I mean, look, in some parts of the country, it was a topic of conversation during primaries for Democratic candidates running for Congress. But overall, the party understands that's not enough to get you elected. You got to show people what you're for, and going after the president for 2 years isn't necessarily enough in this day and age.
And we also should, the Mueller report will come out somewhere in the course of all this, which will change that whole conversation completely. But what other kinds of things could Democrats investigate that wouldn't be seen as excessively political?
You'll start with the fact that the president's family company in some ways is doing business with the government. You know, Trump Hotel, the fact that the Secret Service has to rent space from Trump Tower and down at Mar-a-Lago. They're going to look into things that happened at the EPA. Questions about whether or not there should be a citizenship question on the 2020 census. The administration's pushing for that. Some in Congress don't want it. Basically, every week, once they get started, if they get control, there will be some kind of investigation that's coming out. People being dragged before Congress, and, you know, a lot of questions asked.
All right, Ed, we'll see you soon enough.
A few hours.
Yes. Go back to the cot we have for you in the other room.
Where is that nap room?